Aloha. This is going to be a quick one tonight, mainly because I have a big day at the dentist tomorrow. So I'm going to make this short and sweet. Well, maybe not sweet, because, hey, Joseph, aloha. Um, Mainly because I just got a little bit to say to the skid mark. And he's not blocked in here. Hey, Steve, aloha. And let him come explain his nonsense. And don't expect when you clap at somebody, Mark, and they clap back, don't be surprised what you get. Because you might just get teeth and claws. Hey, Whiskey, aloha. Yes, he is a wiener. A wiener, 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 wiener. Hey, Leanie, aloha. Yeah, if Mark comes in, don't block him. I made sure that he was unblocked. So if he has something to say, by all means, say it. Hey, Ace, aloha. But my first order of business is an apology. And this apology goes out to the hub, Edward Hubbard. I was on his panel earlier and maybe came off a little aggressive. But when I have a certain subject, I, say my piece. I apologize to him if I disrespected him or his channel or his crew. And I want to make that. And of course, Mark had to go make a comment about it. And I'll just read what he said because honestly, it's just ridiculous. The the things that he will stoop to are amazing. Let's see. So Mark says, that was funny when you apologized to Hubbard tonight. Laugh, 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 laugh. And I come back, well, I'm strong enough to apologize for something I may have done. What's your excuse? See, that's the difference between me and you, is I can actually own up to something. If I've offended someone or if I've spoken out of turn, I'll be the first one to say, hey, sorry if I said something, sorry if I did something. Because that way you get it taken care of, misunderstandings don't happen, and you go on with it. Hey, Harlan, aloha. But you want to come in my room and laugh at me for apologizing to somebody. Well, what about you? You're the one who threatened him, Mark. And that's why I went over there. Is because he's supposed to be a friend and you threaten him? It's not a good move. And it doesn't look good for you. And then your wife gets on there and, says her piece for you. Back to, I don't know why you had her up here. You really, you upset us. What about all the times that your husband has, and I can only speak for myself, so I will. When your husband called me a liar and a cunt, which neither one of those is true. Although the latter one, the cunt, keep it up and that'll come out. And trust me, you don't want to see me in that mode because it won't be pretty. And I won't hold back. And I won't be kind. So keep it up, Skid Mark. Keep it up. You think it's funny when people can actually honestly say they're sorry? Unlike you, who make up every excuse in the world. Oh, it's my medication. Oh, it's this. Oh, it's that. Blah, 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 blah. And you know how we can tell when you're lying, Mark? Your mouth is moving. Well, John Smith, I don't know that, and I'm not real familiar with him. All I know is that Mark threatened him, as well as a few other people. And, you know, it's not a good look, Mark. It really isn't. It makes you look more of a fool than you already are. Thanks, Ace. All right. Whoever's here, say here. Ace here. Misty here. Leanie here. And I'm strong enough and I'm woman enough to say, hey, I may have screwed up. And if I did, I'm sorry. You know, I'll be the first one to do that. and honestly mean it. Not just say it because, to unruffle feathers. No. And furthermore, Mark, if you say I've lied, where, when, how, what? Because I only come on here when I have something to say. I don't come on here just to start bullshit and to pump up my ego. I don't need that. I come on here when I have something to say. Today, I just happen to have something to say. And that's what makes for a nice, cohesive community. Was when people aren't throwing other people under the bus. They're not fabricating things to make somebody else look bad. There's a lot of bullshit going around. There's a lot of tit for tat. There's a lot of schoolyard bullshit that is just ridiculous. And I've really stepped back from the live streams in the evening, just because it's not fun. It's just not fun. And well, thank you, Misty. And hey, did you find that hidden track on Kulika's Baker's Dozen? I know I told you about it, but I didn't know maybe if you'd looked at it or something. But there's a band that I from hometown, Kulika, and I actually followed in here on one of my vacations. I changed my whole vacation plan so I could be here when they played the Brewfest, and they have a hidden track on one of their CDs, and it's called Baker's Dozen. Well, there's 12 tracks on it, and a baker's dozen means 13. And the one hidden track is called Bong Hits for Breakfast. Hey, Maria, aloha. Oh, okay. Yeah, and it's there, and there's not a lot of people that know that it's there. And I have it on an MP3 player, so I can't play it. But it's about as funny as Mai Tide went on, because we were sitting at the Kona Inn sipping Mai Tais one night. Yeah, I know, Ace, and it's not to dog anybody, what they do on their channel, but just the trying to smear somebody's personal life, just because you might know something or somebody tells you something and you think it's true without actually going and finding out if that statement is true or not. I'm just kind of disheartened with it all. Um, it used to kind of be fun, but it's really not anymore. It really isn't. And I have plenty of other things to do than sit and listen to people try to one up somebody. Well, this person did that and that person did this and blah, 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 blah. Flip, flop, flip, flop, flip, flop. It's just, it's draining and it's sad, because I'm an old hippie chick, you know, and yeah, flowers and love and peace and joy, trying to that's kind of how I want to live my life. Not trying to one up somebody or, drag them through the mud because you know something about them or you think you know something about them. It's just, it's really, really sad. It really is. And I can't put my finger on it why. Um, but I can say that if somebody's hurt you, go to them and say, "Hey, man, you hurt my feelings." Or, "Hey, did you miss, something that was said, or did somebody tell you something?" You know, talk it out, and not in a hateful way. Yeah, cast is fun because what happens in cast stays in cast, and that's the glory of that. It really is. Um, and it's by invitation. So we know it's safe in there and you can say what you want because if you're in there, we kind of all have the same mindset that the scammers and the crooks and the bullshitters, get bashed. And taking it to real life involving families and kids, man, that's got to stop. You know, what's going to how is it going to make anything any better just because you think you know something and have to twist it so it hurts another person? Hey, Hop Frog, aloha. Well, I had a couple teeth pulled a couple weeks ago. I guess it's been like 6 weeks now because I go in tomorrow for my impressions, and then I go in Friday for my plates. So I'm going to have new teeth by the time, you know, the masks, we should be coming to an end. Unfortunately, here on the island, we have had an explosion of positive tests, and we have 10 people on the island in ICU. Well, as of yesterday, there may be more today. I don't know. I haven't read our lieutenant governor does a daily count of where we are and what's happening, and I really appreciate that. But we have 10 people in ICU here on the island. We didn't have one admitted to the hospital before the first of the year. So we went 9 months without a single hospitalization. And now it's exploding. And we know of one source. Unfortunately, they are in the mindset that vaccinations are bad. God will cure them as long as we believe in the Lord our Savior. Well, God can't help when something's man-made. And I truly believe that this virus was man-made. I wear a mask wherever I go, not for anybody else, but for myself. Hand sanitizer in my truck. So as soon as I get in, I sanitize my truck before I touch the steering wheel. Therefore, I'm not transferring it from the store to, because I went to Costco today. And in buildings, it's still mandated. But we have a lot of tourists. I think it was last Friday, we had almost 3,000 people arrive on the island. So Costco is a pretty busy place because it's 3 miles from the airport. And it's the first stop that most people make if they're doing a Airbnb or they're doing a condo rental or something. Everybody stops at Costco because it's the cheapest and it's just the easiest. But then again, I will say though that I didn't see a lot of kids today. And that's what scares me is the snotty-nosed kids. I mean, I love kids, but they're just snotty nose. Just yeah, that's my mother talking. I can just hear now. Germs, germs, germs from all over the world. Wash your hands. You know. But yeah, so that's scary. I go get my second vaccination the first. But studies have shown that, the vaccinations may not be foolproof. So I got your first one last Friday or Friday. Yeah. And there's a group of us that go to the dog park in the morning, and we're all the same group. There's about 10 or 12 of us that are the first ones in the gate because it's before it gets hot. And a lot of them had one of the couples, they had gone to the mainland. And they got stuck in LA for an hour and a half because they had to do a rapid test. And I'm thinking, well, I wouldn't mind if everybody getting on the plane I was on having to get a rapid test. I'm all good with that. But even those aren't foolproof. So, you just got to take responsibility for your health. At least that's my view. You have it second one on Thursday. Yeah, I get mine the first. But I think MERS is a week from Saturday. I know it's on a Saturday. But yeah, it just we kind of let our guard down here a little bit, because we hadn't had a death since Christmas. And up until last week, I don't think we had more than 2 or 3 in the hospital, but not even in ICU. And now we have 10 in the ICU. That's scary, We did have it go through one of our veterans' homes and unfortunately lost quite a few of our veterans. But that was at the beginning of it when, certain precautions really weren't taken yet. They didn't have the rapid test, and the test that they did have took a couple days to get back. Well, by that time, if somebody's contagious, they've already, contaminated everybody else. And those are settings where people have poor health anyway. Yeah, strange days. Yep. Well, I had 2 teeth pulled. I had one of my front teeth fixed. They're going to have to go back and do a little more work before they make the molds tomorrow. But it's going to be nice to be able to eat tortilla chips without it jamming it into my gum. I did that the other day, and I was like, oh, the side of my cheek hurts so bad. But anyway, well, it looks like Skid Mark's not around. I was going to let him come in and say his piece, but he's ridiculous. When he wants to step to me and laugh at me for apologizing to someone, it just makes him look all the more the fool. Yeah, well, I'm real lucky. I finally found a dentist who didn't want to fix each one of my teeth that I still have. The one dentist I'm going to now is very conservative, and I really appreciate that, because another dentist I went to wanted to fix teeth that weren't even in my mouth. I didn't go back. And then another dentist I went to shrugged his shoulders and said, "There's nothing I can do for you." I went, "What? What? Are you bullshitting me?" I was like, "Okay, well, you don't want to tackle it." So I went to a dentist, and they do, um, it's the whole spectrum of dentistry: kids, adults, periodontal, orthodontal, the whole bit. And they had me at, when I had the oral surgeon called me the night that I had my tooth pulled, and called me and asked me how I was doing. That just doesn't happen anymore. Um, and I finally said, okay, I found a good dentist. And they didn't want to fix each one of my teeth. I mean, I have fillings that I've had since the 70s. And they said, oh, they're fine. We don't need to do, and I have no gum damage. I have nothing like that. Mainly because I don't smoke and I don't drink. I don't know about that part, but I know the smoking part. Well, I try to, Misty. You know, there's so much bullshit going on that, my hippie, my Birkenstocks, and my hippie hair, and my love, peace, and joy, come out, and I know have to. Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, doctors used to be home visits. Yeah, there's actually we had one of the vets who used to make house calls. He actually saved Waddy's life when he had a bowel obstruction. He came to the house here and called down to the vet and said, "We need to get this kid," and he called him a kid, into surgery. He's got a bowel blockage now. So they had it all set and ready to go when I got there. If not, I would have lost Waddy. So, you know, unfortunately, he's since passed away. And, you know, one of the ladies at the dog park, she takes care of her son and daughter-in-law's German Shepherd because they have a baby. So that's one of grandma's jobs, is taking, the dog to the dog park. And she took him in to one of the vets I don't like, and I won't go back. And they wouldn't even call her back. So she went to the one that I like going to now. And his ears were bothering him. Well, he's like most dogs that don't mess with my ears, I will bite your ass. So the owners, her kids, are in the mainland right now. And she called the vet and said, "Hey, this dog really needs to be seen. Can I get him in next week or something?" They said, "No. What are you doing in an hour?" And she said, "Well, I guess I'm coming to you." And they took one look at him, and said he's got mites and gunk and junk all down in his ears. Let's put him under a light sedation and let's get his ears cleaned out good. Well, that was a $438 vet bill just for ear cleaning and anesthesia. So I told Waddy, I said, you can't get sick. It's not in the budget, kid. But I just, it's just amazing. I think the vets even charge more than the dentists, actually. I really wanted to take Waddy to get his teeth cleaned, and I know they're probably going to have to put him out for it. But geez, if there's going to be $400, I don't know if I want to do that. I mean, they're not bad, but they're not great. He's 5 years old now, so. And I do have the greenies. He has the greenies every once in a while, but he doesn't like those too much. So. Hey, Stitching Girl Aloha. Pet insurance is a good option. Yeah, I might think about that now he's getting older. Because I didn't have insurance when he had his bowel obstruction, and that was $1,300. Luckily, I actually had the money to do it, so it was a no-brainer, do it. And if it came to it, I would go borrow money from the bank if I had to. He's like one of my kids. So, but all right, I just wanted to come on here and say my piece about somebody, and he just needs to go away. He really does. He adds nothing to the community. All he does is try to insert himself into things and then lies about it. And I actually said something today, and I almost caught myself, and I had to ask myself, is that how you really feel? Are you sure you want to say that? And what I said was, well, I never thought I would say that anybody was worse than Elbow, right? At least Elbow, yeah, he lied a little bit. Yeah, he exaggerates a lot. But nothing compared to that skid mark, and I didn't think I would ever say that. But it's true. And furthermore, if you have to have your wife go on to somebody's panel, no, actually, I think she called. I don't think she was on the panel. I think she called. Saying that, Marc's a stand-up guy. Oh, they're all lying about him, blah, blah, blah. Honey, you need to look at your husband's deleted streams when you're working and you can't see him. He does a couple hour streams and then deletes them. Why do you think he deletes them? Maybe so nobody calls him out on his bullshit. Let me give you a bit of information. I could almost guarantee, not almost, 99% guarantee that his deleted streams have been recorded. There's a couple of people that come to mind that do that. And frankly, the video that he did about Savage, and then he wanted to laugh it off, was, oh, it's a joke. Can't you guys tell when I'm joking? No, we can't. Yeah, she is. Lindy is. She's getting more heat than I am, though. Because I'm not going to give him the satisfaction of giving him any attention. I did tonight because I wanted to make an apology. I had something to say. Other than that, what's the point? Yeah, I have the doggy toothbrush and I have the doggy toothpaste, but stressing him out, I think it stresses me more than it would him because it's a battle just to clip his nails. And gosh, I brushed him the other day, and I could have made a wool sweater out of as much hair as came off of him. I was amazed. But there's not a lot of dust bunnies in the house right now. But yeah, so that's my yeah, ugh. Well, because he has the dark nails, I'm so afraid of going too short. I've done it once and I felt so bad. Not only that, but he bled all over the place, and that made me feel even worse. Um, but nothing a little cornstarch won't stop. But so that's kind of my say for tonight. I apologize to Hub if I was out of line. I apologized on his stream, but I'll do it here too. And call out Mr. Dumbass who wants to laugh at me because I'm strong enough to make an apology. And I'm not making an apology just to get sympathy or anything. It's because I truly am sorry. I didn't know that he had issues and he walked away from it and his crew didn't know who was up there. It's these two crazy women talking about, you know, Mark and Elbow. Well, okay, hey, I mean, I'll talk, but I thought we were all cool. Hey, Elbow Travel. So, just let's just change gears here a little bit. So, who thinks they know where Elbow is right now? Because Fanatic Wolf put his Facebook, God, I don't even know what you want to call it, poor me video up that got, what, 120 views and what, 10 comments in what, an hour? And I'm not going to tell anybody where I am, for my safety. And you're up at Joni's. Who are you trying to bullshit? It's obvious where you are. And all I have to say is, well, I got, yeah, Stitching Girl, you're right. I need to do that. But yeah, you're at Joni's because you're the one who said you were going to stop there. And you've probably been there for a couple of days, is my guess. Just saying. And I can't believe that Mama Portwood hasn't booted your ass into next year yet. Although you might be kissing her ass, who knows? But it's not. There's no lost clue that where you are. We know where you are, you dumbass. Yeah, there you go, Ace. Grab the link. I love it. Well, I have good clippers, but yeah, I think they're behind the kennel. I'm gonna have to pull it out. I gotta pull it out anyway and clean it. Because I had really good dog clippers. Oh, I see one pair. Okay. He just squirms and he just doesn't like it. And it hurts me more than it hurts him because it doesn't hurt him. He just thinks it does. But anyway, and I thought it was so funny when he goes, he said, well, you know, there's not many people who can take a 2-month vacation, you know, kudos to me. And I'm thinking, that's pretty bad. When you got to pat yourself on the back and go, attaboy, good boy, good boy, good boy, good boy, good boy. Oh, I know. Well, at least he knew how to put that shirt on. The last one he didn't even know how to put his shirt on right. You know, that's the first thing I saw. It's like, dude, you're gonna do a live stream and you can't even dress yourself? What the hell? Unbelievable. But anyway, my dinner's done. And I've got to take my four-legged friend for a walk. And then, okay, really? You heard that? You little shit. I said WALK. Boy, his head came up like, yeah, when you go on a vacation, you don't usually have to get a job during it. Oh, good grief. You guys make me laugh, and I love it so much. All right, everybody. Thanks, Ace. Misty, Elbow, Stitching Girl, everybody. Aloha, Leni, aloha. And wear your masks. And love one another, kumbaya. And stop and smell the roses. Because they're about ready to bloom now. Spring is here. All right, everybody. Until next time, aloha. What? Were you going to talk? What are you going to say? What's the kitty say? What does Elbow say? What does Elbow say? What does Elbow say? What? What does Elbow say? What is Is that what Elbow says? Can you say goodbye? Kitty, kitty. What does Elbow say? What does Elbow say? All right. Signing off with the dog. Of course, he has to be part of the show, you know. What? Right. Now he's going to howl all night. All right, everybody. Aloha.